Hey everyone, no respawns here. Hope you're having a grand day. So in this video, a bit of a short one, but I wanted to focus on a new creation that's dropped on the Creation Club. This is one I've specifically been really keen to get my hands on. It's called Clutter Crafting by AndrewCX. So if those don't know, Andrew is the developer behind the Unlock Settlement Objects mod. So basically, if you've done any building in Fallout 4 across any platform, it's very likely that you owe Andrew most of your pretty settlements. I definitely do. And Andrew drops into my streams now and then, and I did mention that I wanted some way of creating junk in a way that felt lore friendly, but also still felt like it wasn't me cheating. And Andrew mentioned that they had a mod that they were working on, and they were kind enough to sort of bump it up the schedule, and it was released this week. So this is a paid creation, but it's only 100 credits. To give you a frame of reference, I bought a pack of 500 credits for like £4.99. So I do think it's one of those things, it's really good to support mod developers. I'm a mod developer, but nowhere near to the level of Andrew, and it's just, it's such a great mod. It's one of those, like, you know, it is hashtag just works. It does exactly what you want it to do, and definitely better price than the stuff you'd get on the App Store, for example, in Fallout 76. So let me just show you how it works. You basically get this crafting bench. I was actually quite impressed with the I did comment on my stream. I was like, I really like the choice of crafting bench and the colours as well. So I basically just kind of rug glitched in here. And what it does, it basically allows you to, ostensibly, you're just unscrapping junk. And the reason why I like this is this pairs really, really well with the OCDecorator mod. Because I use that for all of my decoration as well. So what I can do is I can make any item in here, and then replicate it in OCDecorator. Let's find something random. It will obviously take you a bit of a minute to scroll through the menus because it has quite literally every piece of junk you could possibly think of. But what I like about this is that even though I'm making the junk myself, it's lore friendly. It's basically a nice balance between, for example, so let's say if OCDecorator, and I think there might be a version of it out there somewhere, maybe on Nexus, which allows you to kind of build stuff using a cap or like one piece of steel. This is still using the stuff that it turns into in a bit of a better way, which I like. Like, for example, so like desk fans. I'll show you the rest of the menus in a sec. Because I basically spent a lot of time decorating, and I still will go around kind of scavenging junk, but there's a few items which are sometimes quite difficult for me to find, and this just makes my life a little bit easier. So it creates it as a sort of static, a normal item. So this is, for example, this reactor cooler is actually one of the items from that Andrew showed off, and I can place that down, but if I place it down, you can if you want, you can just decorate it just using the Clutter Crafting bench. And by the way, because this is a verified creation, I believe this means this is achievement friendly, so you could use this and then just place things down, but then obviously if you walked into them, they would move around. But you can also pair it, if you don't mind losing achievements, with OCDecorator. And for example, I think my fan's in here. There you go, so I've got loads of desk fans now. And it's going to make my life a lot easier because I've a frame of reference. Like, I haven't actually even finished junk decorating Sanctuary yet. But I've still got so much to do. And just being able to just bring all of the items that I need up off the fly is just, it's going to make my life so much easier. There's a few, like, really rare stuff. Like, for example, those bat trees are just gold dust. And it's going to be so nice to be able to just place them down on the fly without feeling the need to just, you know, disappear off and just raid a factory, which I will still do, but it just means I can do both. There are some other bits in here as well, so you can get kind of more, and in the actual, and I'll link in the description actually to the actual creation link. It's available on all platforms, by the way, so you can just, it'll probably be actually in your featured mods if you're watching, featured creations if you're watching this live. But there are different styles. Let me just bring up so I actually get the description correctly. So basically you've got the standard junk items. So this is basically just all junk that you could find in the game. Then there's the modified junk items, which are basically stuff which you can find in the game, but you normally can't pick up yourself. For example, baby carriages. I think there's loads of stuff in here. There's a bit of everything, really. And what's interesting about these is I believe, actually, let's try it with this box. This one. Let's make the beer crate. I believe this will have the same collision, and yeah, I can just drop that. Yeah, okay, that's quite cool. So basically you can just make kind of junk versions of these that you can actually just place around, which is actually quite handy. So there's loads of bits in there, and then there's reproductions of actual collectibles, which again will operate in the same way, which I really like. So what I like about this is it allows me to sort of create the junk that I need on the fly for decorating, but doesn't make me feel like I'm cheating, which is grand. And I wanted something quite lore-friendly. I haven't actually looked through all the menus, I'm not going to lie. There is a lot of stuff here. So much good stuff. Another menu for me to spend hours scrolling through. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight this because it's a really, really good mod and it pairs so well with OCDecorator. If you want something to make your decorating a lot easier without necessarily feeling like you're cheating or anything like that. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention, and I'm going to speed ahead because this is something that's really easy to miss, is I'm going to quickly show you how to like mods and creations, because Bethesda, in all of their infinite wisdom, do like to bury it. So one moment. Right, so this is the creation menu as of today, and it all looks roughly the same, but if you open up your load order, you can actually scroll through your mods here, and this is where they have the like option. The reason why this is important is it does help the mods promote. Basically, it promotes the mods and pushes them further up in terms of most popularity, and just makes it a little bit more. It just verifies the mods in a way, because obviously, yes, you can be a verified creator, but you know, a community endorsement is more important for someone than merely just being on the page. But they do bury it because you can't do it in the main menu. It has to be specifically on the load order menu. And I'm on Xbox right now, as you can see. I'm Andrew, don't hate me. I'm going to unlike your mod briefly. So unlike, I can like again. And it'll work the same on PlayStation, and I suspect on PC as well. It's something I wanted to highlight because I always forget where to find it. And so I went through yesterday when I found it. I'm like, right, I'm going to like all of the mods that I use because, again, I've got some... Actually, I did like some of my own, technically, but don't judge. Didn't realise I could like my own mods. I think it's because technically my PlayStation account, or my Xbox account, is technically tied to it. But it just means that there's some of these mods, I use so many of them, and they deserve love. But anywho, yeah, highly, highly, highly recommend the Clutter mod. Here is the actual, as I said, popping up here. Here is the... Ooh, all the way up there. As I said, Clutter Crafting. Also, Andrew's thumbnails always look so nice. There's Clutter Crafting right there. It's really, really good. It's one I've really liked. I also grabbed these the other day, so I might actually do some reviews of these ones once I've had a chance to play around with them. But this was really good. 100 credits. I basically ended up getting 5 of them, just because why not? And yeah, support mod devs. You guys enjoy the rest of your week. As always, follow me on the socials. Links in the description. If you're watching the video live, we'll have a new video up sometime mid next week. We'll continue on the castle. I'm also going to start doing some Project Zomboid videos after Wednesday, because they are finally pushing build 42 to stable, so that should be fun. As well as, I think, streaming on the Saturdays, because that seemed to be a really good day for everyone. And to be honest, I rarely go out Saturdays. I'm more of a Friday night, Sundays person. Anyway, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. You take care.